Can you hear it? Welcome to Relay.
Hi everyone. I'm sick. There's some people with me. There's Nighthawk. He's a hawk who flies at night.
I am.
Isn't that more of an owl?
No.
Oh.
Not in this particular case.
I taste.
Do you have to wear a high-vis jacket?
Why do you taste metal?
I don't know. I'm tasting metal right now.
Could it be because you're inside this metal suit?
Have you got
maybe.
pins and needles in?
I do tend to lick myself when I'm bored.
Well, I mean, that's fair. Why wouldn't you lick yourself?
We've also got Nakara. He's got a neck. We've got Shiver. He's cold. Welcome to the relay station.
Brilliant.
Thank you. I bow to you all. Oh, wait, there's me again.
I think that's possibly
hello.
your best intro ever.
Oh, look, there's me. Oh, hello. Oh, look, it's me. Hello.
You're having too much fun with it.
I am.
Oh, boy.
The things that sick minds come up with. I think I might have a fever, actually. This is great. So, because I'm smart, I didn't make myself tea or anything. I just got a beer, so cheers.
Score.
Best way to get over being sick.
Yeah. Yeah, we are professionals.
No, we're not.
Why would we want to be professionals, guys? Okay, let's start. Let's start.
Why would we want to start?
Thanks to Ghost for the idea for this. I like it because I'm shooting the Gundam. It's like shooting the goddamn, but shooting the gun.
I'm still waiting for the shooting the Gangam.
I didn't do that one. Sorry. Okay, wait. I can.
Shooting the Gangnam is next week.
Hey, there we are. Hello, everyone. I'm still me. You don't have to worry. I didn't go anywhere.
Now with more blanket.
Yeah.
Hey, there he is.
Star Citizen. That's what we're here to talk about, right? Thank you for
Sure?
reminding me.
I thought we were here to talk Spider-Man PS4.
I don't have it yet. I've decided to not get it yet. I really want it, but I'm not getting
I
it.
thought this was a gardening podcast.
My lawn is so bad right now. It's been a really, really bad summer, really hot and dry. So grass has had a lot of trouble. So my backyard is literally growing like trees out of the grass, and I've got like little spiky things all over the place. There's just spikies everywhere. It's really miserable, and I'm having a lot of trouble dealing with it. At the same time, I have like 3 hosta plants in the front that are each the size of Pluto.
I thought this was an MEA stream.
Not quite the size of a planet.
Melissa Estrada Appreciation.
No, Mass Effect Andromeda, yeah. So I was playing Mass Effect Andromeda, and I was just, walking around minding my own business, and a bunch of bad guys came in and, like, landed, and they all jumped out of... Oh, God.
Ha!
Not even.
That was brilliant. Thank you very much, Stevie Madman. Please keep those coming this week.
The bad guys all jumped out, but it dropped them off, like, on a rock, and a bunch of them disappeared into the rock, and they're sitting there shooting at me from inside of the rock, and I'm trying to run away from them, but I can't, and it doesn't matter how far I get away from them, it still thought I was in combat, because they were stuck in the rock.
The Rock gets in fucking everything these days, doesn't he?
It was he is. But I've actually been thinking more about Bautista in that other new movie that he's in, because he's doing other movies, and he's saying no to Guardians of the Galaxy. So I've been watching him because
Just kind of too bad.
it is.
I liked him. Drax.
Drax is awesome.
Well, it's up to him.
What are we doing?
He'll stay.
What are we here?
We're going to talk about Amigas.
Amigos. No, I don't have any amigos.
I'm your amigo.
Amigos?
No, you're my friend.
Oh. Okay. Are you sure?
I thought you were. Aren't you?
What if we're all figments of
Welcome to the
imagination?
realization.
Okay.
It's going to be a live one today.
Okay.
Those on YouTube, 5 minutes 29.
Sure, it's a bit late for that for them. So
We'll just edit that to the front.
yeah, okay. I'm not doing any editing. So Star Citizen. Oh God. Oh.
Thank you,
Nope.
Triangularity. You're awesome.
That takes a lot of energy. So, Star Citizen. We are getting close to two of the biggest problems in Star Citizen. So, for us as news people. So, on the one hand, my mouth really tastes like metal. I wonder if I'm like bleeding through my mouth.
Have you been sucking off those Cybermen again?
I mean, yes, I
Ejaculate.
have.
Ejaculate. No, sorry.
Wow.
Okay, this is okay. So no. Okay, you know what?
Welcome, Nighthawk, to the realization.
Hey, he's been on a number of times. He knows what he's getting
It's-
into each time.
It's a good
Fair
thing
enough.
you made me part of the permacast because now I can place Erris.
Yeah. Would you like to? It's all yours. I will hand.
I don't have the
over
script for this
reins.
week.
Oh, man.
That is quite a codpiece on that transformer.
It's a Gundam, goddamn.
Whatever. Gundam transformer.
Damn, goddamn.
They're the same thing.
This one's not sentient, as proven by your face.
Shit. Aren't you all glad that you tuned in?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, Miles, you're right. This is just prep for the captain's table later.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
100%.
I'm supposed to turn that. There we go.
Now with more rib damage.
Okay. No, I was.
Amend
I
them.
was.
Those on YouTube, 7 minutes 45.
No. Come on, Shiver. Let's be honest. For those on YouTube, an hour 30.
It'll start when this is over.
So,
Amazing.
no, I was trying to make a serious point there briefly because
Okay,
we're getting
fair.
to we are getting to two of the biggest problems in start. So one of the biggest problems this year has been the closer we get to the next patch, the less there is to talk about because they're working more on the patch than showing us about the patch, right? Like they get to this
Right.
week and who the hell cares? We want 3.3 and they're working on getting 3.3 to
Yeah.
the fruits.
The fruits?
Yes, avocado.
The fruits.
Is avocado
Wow.
a fruit?
Yes, it grows on a tree.
Okay.
I guess so, yeah.
So there,
All right.
it works. But not only are we getting to that, 3 month, we're starting to get less news, but we're also getting right onto the doorstep of CitizenCon, and CitizenCon has always been, and they even came out and straight up told us this year, CitizenCon has always been you're not going to hear much. We're holding it back. So
They're back holding.
they are. So I this is what I was trying to get to from like minute 1.5. What would you guys? What did you feel about this week so far?
Pretty good. Actually, I thought this week was good if you had the time to actually wade through all their shows, which I did.
Really enjoyed. the amount of detail they went into on OCS, explaining
That
each
was
bit.
kind of what I meant.
It was a really big week for OCS data drop, and I, as good as that is, it's still, you know, kind of feeds off of what Erris was saying. They can give us all the information we want, but until we actually have our hands on it and we're experiencing what the F&A cotton it really is, I don't think there's ever going to be a full sense of comprehension. You know, we got to get our hands on it. We have to see what differences it actually makes, not only for the player experience but for the game as a whole. You know,
To be fair to them, they mentioned that they were very eager to get it into the players' hands as soon as humanly possible, because they're like, we know this is going to break really, really bad, so we want to get it up the door like yesterday.
Hello,
so that we can start breaking it.
I think probably my favorite thing that came from this week was in calling all devs, besides the Hollywood magic, that they briefly talked about alarms for like depressurization. And my favorite part of what they said about that was that you could turn off the alarms.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you forget to turn off the alarm, or forget you did turn off the alarms, and next thing you know, your friends are depressurizing themselves, hitting the button, and good times are had by all.
Well, I also kind of like it because it's like,
Oh, man.
you're sitting there and you're being attacked by pirates, and you're like, no, I'm gonna dump my cargo, and you go to dump your cargo, and then the alarm starts going off, and you're like, fuck off, I just want to dump my cargo, get away from the pirates. Now there's an alarm, and I've got a headache, and I just want a nap.
Well, here's my question. When you depressurize a ship, are we going to have a Star Trek style depressurization effect where it actually moves the ship? You know what I'm saying?
I hope so.
I mean, it should, but I mean, whether it does or not is entirely up to the physics team.
Yeah, wouldn't the
That's true.
CS, BMW, BLT thing, wouldn't that compensate for anything like that?
I don't know. I mean, if your systems are powered down or you're suffering from damage from EMP attacks or distortion cannons, like there's a possibility those systems might not be online. But if you're able to depressurize, you can get yourself moving as those things are powering back on.
Well, you have to think that they did say last week, I think, or the week before, in the last 2 weeks, that weather systems on planets and in space would affect how ships fly. And if you're going to have weather systems affecting how ships fly, you have to think that they're going to also have things like missiles affecting how, like, you get hit by a missile, your ship is going to shake. I can't imagine them not having some impact on the ship if you all of a sudden open up your ass and vent one out.
What about the ship?
I'm gonna go to show and tell and show off some
I hope not as a continuation.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I'm sorry,
This
everyone.
is what we call a server wipe.
Yeah.
Oh,
Erris wide server wipe.
oh my god. I don't know what's wrong. I genuinely don't know what's wrong with me right now. Oh wait, no, I'm sick. Sorry.
You have a virus.
I do. That is far and above one of the ugliest ships I've ever seen in my life. I really wish they'd redesign that piece of crap. Hate it.
They will eventually because they redesign everything.
It's so ugly.
I feel like you say that about a lot of the ships.
He does.
Hornet is like number 3 though. Top ugly.
Yeah, you're not a big fan, are you?
No. I'm a pure person.
Wow.
All right,
Wow.
Dad, move on.
Wow. Wow.
It's a sexy ship. It's an Abrams
Wow.
with wings.
Oh.
Wow.
Pretty intense. So what are we looking at? What is this show and tell? Why did we see Hornets? Why are we watching this Daymar Rally secret event? What's the deal?
I don't know. because people like driving around on planets.
You know, it's pretty fun. You know, you get a good
is.
group of friends together. You got some aerial coverage. Yeah.
A velodrome of just riding around in circles and using a giant or a crater impact. I like that. It's clever.
It's pretty ingenious. Yeah.
I like it.
Like,
it's just a cool little clip.
Yeah.
Although I won't lie, the minute I saw this, I immediately thought that every single one of those buggies needed to have like eyes and a face on them. It's like watching a Star Citizen Cars episode.
Well, really what we're missing is hats. When can we have hats on our buggies?
On the buggies.
that's in 6.3.
And also a soccer ball.
Oh, that's in 8.4.
Okay.
If they're going to give you some kind of like a soccer ball or a beach ball to knock around with the buggies, then they better bring the jump ramps back for the hangar. Putting that out there.
Yes.
And the flaming hoops.
You've gone away from it now, Sod's Law, of course, but I really like the sense of scale you get from the Grey Cat to the 600. I think that shows off the scale really well and really nicely.
That's a very good point. Yeah, it does. You can fit what? 4, 6 of those in a single 600?
The 600 is a big ship, and then you look at it compared to something like an Endeavor, and it's like a little baby. I can't wait to see some of the, like, we haven't yet really gotten to play around with a capital sized ship, and that's gonna be a hell of a time. So the lighting in this hab is fantastic. Like the smoke that just their lighting is so good. But I don't know where that image is actually. Is it this one? Crap. I think it's this one. This. You look at this, and Nakara sent me this earlier in the week, attached with a picture of Mars.
Yeah.
Not to interrupt, but I saw on Reddit some cheeky so-and-so, he posted on there that actually it wouldn't be red on Mars, it would be blue. Don't know who said that. Some cheeky bastard.
What would be red on what wouldn't be red on Mars?
The sunset.
The
atmosphere, sorry, basically.
The atmosphere would.
That's only right at sunset. Like while the sun is going below the horizon.
Sunsets
Do you mean that magic hour? That
Mars'
30 minutes
sun sets blue, but for the rest of the time, no, it would be hazy yellowish / orangish on Mars.
Yeah.
Just like,
well, especially when there's a dust storm.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's pretty clear.
Yeah. But that haze straight up is the haze that you see in like photos from Mars. It's fantastic. I love it.
I actually think I sent you that picture.
You did, but I don't know where it is.
It's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pictures up from the one you just put on there.
Ah, there.
You heard it here first, people. It's confirmed by relay_CIG. Star Citizen is shot on Mars.
Look at it.
Totally. I just love how close that is in terms of the atmospheric scattering.
I actually looked at this and without looking at the rover had a bit of a second being like, wait, what?
I mean, I really wish those roots were on Mars because that would mean a whole other thing.
That would, yeah. But anyway,
I love it.
All that to say, the lighting that they're working with and the atmospheric effects and everything is just
amazing.
It's stupendous. Also,
and then just think how much better it's going to look when they bring in that new volumetric cloud tech.
Yeah.
Nice.
I also want to say
mix that in with the particles that respond to outside stimuli, and it's glorious.
Just stop. It's stupid. It's stupid is what it is.
Astropub, you forgot Beijing.
It's stupidly wonderful.
I mean, and as we said yesterday on Friday Night Show, it's like you spoke a while back about the particle system and how, you know, it's absolutely insane that there are so few games where the particle they're just an animation effectively, but here they're real, so to speak, and responsive. And the good news about that is the fact that when it comes to doing a snow planet, which or a snow moon for Hurston, they don't have to do anywhere near as much groundwork because the coding's already there. They've just got to basically do the work to convert sand to dust and put in the right properties.
Yeah, I think it's going to be wonderful.
Snow.
Absolutely beautiful, standing on the surface of Microtech and just watching the snowfall.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to pile on. It should, in theory, pile onto your character well in a more realistic manner.
Anyone who watched some of the first streams that I streamed 3.0 a couple times when it first launched, and landing on a planet and just watching sunrise. I won't lie, I started crying. It was beautiful. That is the only Star Citizen is the only way any of us will ever watch sunrise on another planet. And
speak for yourself.
Yeah,
you're on the Mars exploration crew.
I'd love to be. I would go. Whether or not I will go is another question. But
right,
like just look at that the mist just pouring down. It's just so beautiful, and the lighting, and they switch it over. It's so beautiful. Okay, moving on.
But yeah, I love the lighting, that the work that they've done, especially how far they've come from some of the early stuff. And yes, I was super excited by this concept work.
I like that they showed off. I really like when they show these off, like how they designed stuff, and they've done it a couple of times for some ships. It looks so good.
I really love Lyria with the constantly spewing cryovolcanoes that are supposed to make it really cloudy and humid. I think that's going to be neat.
I'm actually really excited for that, because right now we're very much used to moons that are not really alive. There's nothing to really look for or worry about except the rock 30 meters in front of you. This is going to be really interesting, because you might not expect it, but I'm hoping that some of the terrain features might actually change on Lyria with all of these bioplastic flows constantly surging. You gotta wonder, will you be able to scan and try to foretell which of these holes in the ground are going to burst next, so that you can avoid that particular area and drive around it? Are you going to get caught in one of the blasts? Will it drag your ship away, or not your ship, your vehicle? You know what?
I mean,
it's quite intriguing.
There's very deep crevices on there that you may, especially if you're driving fast, you'll not get any warning, and like a Looney Tunes character.
Where did I go?
Yeah,
where is it?
I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Sorry about that. There was a quote.
You could make some good tracks as well for unofficial races as well. That would be. I think a lot of people out there are going to have a lot more potential fun with this, and with realizing. And let's also not skip over the fact that it's taken to this point to put in the moons that we have now. What we have now are just moons; they're not full-scale planets. And now in this patch, they're saying, "Yeah, we've got a planet and a couple of moons, just chucking them in there." It's like
couple, 4,
2 couples.
And it's like, just suddenly these moons can be made that much quicker now, as opposed to, the years it's taken to get to the point.
Exactly. Yeah, no, we're getting there, slowly but surely.
Yeah, it's going to be really nice. I think ETF is going to have a lot of fun.
I think we're all going to have a lot of fun. And for any of those out in ETF, I better not see anything posted early. Well, because
not necessarily. I mean, there have been leaks with every ETF drop, and what was it? Beginning of this week, they were sending out new invites, getting more people into ETF.
I know,
and even that was drama, because people started showing pictures of the invites, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's dropped to ETF! So much hype! So much hype!" No, there's no ETF drop. They're just sending out invitations. Would you like to join us?
We need more people. Yeah.
And I totally agree. You know, if I think that if they're going to be really putting OCS through its paces, utilizing ETF, then they definitely need more people in the ETF. Yeah, but I don't want
those people, because inevitably those people like find the glitchy things and post those and make it look bad. And it's like, well, of course there's glitchy shit. Just stop being a bad person.
No, not every leak is with malicious intent. You know, some of these leaks are genuinely, look at fucking asteroid mining. To be fair, and people, and sometimes it backfires. Someone posts something, it's like, oh, look at this shit, and everyone goes, actually, that looks really fucking cool anyway.
I know.
And it's just a leak anyway. You just don't fucking look at it. Pretend it doesn't happen.
Well, I just don't look at Reddit anymore. So
Reddit's really good, I have to say. You
just gotta ignore all the
resource at the very least. You have to ignore 97% of it,
though.
So take the good 3%.
The good 3% is linked to me by Nakara or Shiver, so I'm happy.
Fair enough.
So they're working on the Kovalex stuff. They're working on props. It all looks good. You know the drill.
I'm liking these lockers.
I do.
I don't know about you guys. I am curious though how they plan on moving one SCU crate into and out of that locker for pickup and drop off, because you look at the Amazon lockers that they have in real life, and those suckers are huge. They're probably 8 or 10 feet wide easily, and this is one SCU. So is it like put it in the box and then there's some kind of an elevator that takes it down to the cargo deck, or what's the deal?
I don't care if they magic that.
Yeah, but
I'm completely okay with they magic that.
Really?
Yeah.
Because they're not really magicking much else, so why would they magic this?
I want them to magic that. I want them to magic a tractor beam. I really don't want to have to get out of my ship, fly over, like slowly float over to the ship that I blew up, pick up a cargo crate, float back to my ship, load it in, float back to the pick up. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna have to wait and see.
I
know they've been working on tractors for a while, but we'll see.
I'm okay if it even moves it close. Like you can use a tractor beam to move it closer or something, and then you have to stack it the end of the way or so.
Well, I mean, yeah. Okay, so thinking back to when they were getting ready to release the Caterpillar, and they were showing off their first attempts at the tractor system. They had a massive tractor beam that would grab a whole bulk of stuff, and you could move it closer to the ship. And then they were talking about having people there on the open face of the ship to just grab the crates and bring them inside. But it also begs the question, paw tool. Didn't they say something about like a small tractor beam style mode that you could use? So if you're standing there on the cargo doors and the big old tractor beam is bringing this chunk of stuff over, couldn't you just individually tractor them in? And then you don't have the EVA.
And something like that is what I'd like to see. I want there to be in-game ways to avoid EVAing, and maybe it costs a hard point. Maybe it costs something to have it, but I want there to be that little bit of magiciness, right? And same with these shipping thingies. I'm completely okay if you put it in and it just disappears. It doesn't need to have like a tractor conveyor belt where it goes just... What I do want to see with these things, though, is I would love...
Hang on. What if, rather than, magic or hand waving, what if it was someone else's mission to go and pick that up? Then they wouldn't ever need to worry about, magicking it out or anything. You just have the same item because the item is still in the economy. It's still accounted for. And then just, through missions, it makes its way out into the free, market.
So
I could see that.
Yeah, I could see that too. Like you're just supposed to bring it from the source to this point, and then another player or an NPC would bring it from this point out to the warehouse or factory or whatever.
Or somewhere else. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. But then, if you've got 12 other players, each with one SCU crate in hand, waiting in line for this NPC to show up and empty out the lockers.
I think what they need is a larger rack of lockers, not just a one locker, but like a rack of 20 spaces, each with a different number.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
What I really want to see, actually, I'll get to that in a second, though. What I really want to see from those lockers, though, is I think that would be a phenomenal...
Shit, he's having a stroke.
Spot. I'm going to go with the word spot because it's 4 letters and I can think that high right now. That would be a phenomenal spot to put in some actual Amazon advertising. Have them Amazon branded boxes in game. Have Amazon as a company in game. And all of these, because Amazon has those in real life, right?
Yeah.
And Amazon has like 4 different size of boxes in real life, and it doesn't matter what you order. You can order an SD card; it still comes in a box this big, right? I like the idea of there being Amazon branded storage locations in game, in universe, and that's where you take your stuff to.
Okay. So what is Amazon then going to be the next sponsor for CitizenCon or something like that?
I mean, maybe not for CitizenCon, but why not sponsor that? And also, and this was another thing I really wanted. I'm just going to go back to this while we're off topic, but would it also be kind of cool if Amazon apps existed in game and we were talking about this. I know, screw you, Shiver, but we were talking about this last night on the base. Also 4 letters, I can think that high. Like Twitch on your mobiGlass. So you've got a long haul flight and you're bored out of your mind and you load up Twitch on your mobiGlass and watch some Twitch streams while you're, flying in a straight line. And then the guy that you're watching on Twitch on your mobiGlass starts watching your Twitch stream, and the two of you are each watching each other's Twitch broadcasts, and it's just a loop.
You could also, I wonder if they choose to go down that route, if you could watch, if you've got Amazon Prime, just pipe that in. You could have it,
Yeah.
Probably not able to with licensing, put it on every single monitor in the actual ship.
But if I own Amazon
certainly for your
Prime,
personal mobiGlass, maybe,
and I could watch Grand Tour on my mobiGlass in game, that'd be cool.
That would be.
So, CIG, get on it. Okay, thanks. Okay. It's funny. Look at him go. It's great.
My favorite part of this animation is the fact that every time he jumps, he puts a finger out.
Yeah, I'm wondering
like he's in American Gladiators or something. Watch this.
Number one.
Here's my finger.
Yeah.
Next American Ninja Warrior.
I do love this though. How they were able to create a tool to just allow them to change the animation on the fly to whatever height the object is. And this shows how they can do it like on the fly. Just like whoop.
Saves a hell of a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's 90% of CIG's work the past 2 years has been creating tools that save time, because they've got a lot of content to make.
Oh, come on. They got a lot of shit to do. There we go.
That's a bad word.
No, it's not.
What do?
It's only bad if you smear it on your hands.
This is the hammerhead, and it's lighting.
Oh,
it looks pretty.
That was a pretty tiny teaser
Yeah.
for the hammerhead this week.
Yep.
Who wants?
I would have
bet,
liked to see.
Who wants to bet we'll see more in a couple weeks?
Oh, I'm sure. I mean,
Yep.
I'm half expecting them to do another Idris battle, but this time with hammerheads.
Yep.
I am half. Well, no, we're gonna talk about that in a moment. And then we got some gray box interior Banu Defender.
Yeah, that was pretty exciting.
Looks cool.
I'm definitely interested to see how they rework the original concept art for it, because I don't know how many people were around for that, but those long ass arms that come straight out at you, and the cockpits are like down here. So how are you supposed to see off to the sides? Don't tell me that cockpit 1 is supposed to spot starboard and cockpit 2 is supposed to spot port. Like that's a kind of teamwork play that we don't need to have in. So,
looking at those threads that say, fuck struts. Look at the size of these fucking arms.
Although I will be really interested to see how the Banu Defender combines with the Merchantman to create Voltron in game. It'll be really interesting.
Well, you could just put like cameras out at the end of those arms, and then your viewing screen could just be instead of having like glass, it's just a screen.
I mean,
yeah, that's true.
That solved all the problems.
When they first brought out in the concept, they said, we are aware that these arms basically are 3/4 of your view, and we have got an idea on how to tackle it.
Cameras.
Yeah, but who, honestly, who wants to fly their ship around in remote turret camera mode the whole time?
Me. No, I don't know.
No.
Some people probably.
I mean, I'm interested to see what they do with it, because whatever they do with it is going to feed into the Merchantman, and I know there are a lot of people out there waiting for their BMM.
Their BMM, yes, absolutely.
Anyway, I just quickly went through the last of those images for fun because they look pretty cool. But now. So where are we now? We are 1 month away from CitizenCon.
Really? Actually, I think right down to the day.
Yeah.
Not the day, but we're 2 days off.
Are.
Oh, yeah, 2 days off. Sorry. Yeah, it's the 10th.
Which means there are only 4 more episodes of this between now and CitizenCon.
Well, not even. Because that first one will at least you might be able to do it. I'll miss it.
Not necessarily though, because they might want to continue to withhold for the sake of the holiday stream.
No.
But
I think he meant
just before
this show.
This show before the CitizenCon.
Ah, okay.
I will be gone for the 6th.
I have no idea what's going to happen.
Be on my way.
I don't know what's going to happen on the 6th. I think I might even be headed out already, actually. So Shiver might be alone running this on the 6th.
Enjoy, Shiver.
I don't know which one of us to feel more sorry for, you, the viewers, or me.
Well, if I don't have work blocking me, Shiv, I might join you.
Nice.
Success.
But that means it's time to start asking everyone. Geez, I completely didn't.
Did you show like the crazy gray cat thing?
Yeah, I did.
Good.
It's first.
I don't know where I was.
First, send us some questions, because, who's talking to me?
There are some great questions in there.
Jake is talking to me, and I don't know why he's talking to me, because I'm busy, Jake. You know that I'm busy, Jake. Jake, you haven't been on the podcast in so long, but you still know that I'm busy doing a podcast right now.
Sorry,
Jake.
Phone call.
No worries.
Is it Jake?
I'm opening up the question doc. Ask us some questions. If you don't ask us some questions, I'm just gonna have a nap.
Fair.
You will as well.
I would.
That's fair.
So, straight up.
Oh man.
Oh, I feel like ass.
Oh, you'll like that first question.
Yeah. So, but before we get to questions, I have to ask everyone, what do you... and I'm going to be asking this every week until CitizenCon from everyone. I mean, I know Nakar and Shiver are going to be on more than once between now and then. But
yep.
What do you think we're going to see?
Okay, I talked about this last night. I do think we'll see something from Squadron, and I think we'll see the roadmap. Interestingly, if we see the roadmap, we're almost guaranteed to see a release date. Which, I mean, I know what people hate, but it is what it is. They've already said that the release date, or that the roadmap ends with a release date. So there you go. So that's one thing. I think we will see. It's so hard to predict because every time I think of something, I'm like, oh no, they won't show that. I think we might see some like initial work on jump points. And other than that, they have sufficiently obscured things, so I'm not really sure. What do you think, other people?
Can I take the low-hanging fruit and say we'll see a player habitation module, we'll see the mass transit system, we'll almost definitely Hurston.
I mean, everyone will see. I don't actually know how much of 3.3 they're going to show off because it'll be out.
If they start showing, if they start showing 3.3, they have nothing to show.
Exactly, because 3.3 will be out that day, and it will have been PTU for a couple weeks at that point. So
hopefully.
Well, yeah, hopefully. So yeah, I mean, if their big plan for this whole event is to show 3.3, I think that's kind of stupid.
I think they might show off what they've done so far on the Carrack, and we'll just see a polygon.
Yeah, totally. It's just gonna be like, just like a block, and it'll just say Carrack on the side of it. We're gonna carve the Carrack.
No, it's just gonna say car, and they'll say we're gonna fill the rest in a couple of weeks.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Nighthawk, what do you think we're gonna see?
Is Nighthawk back yet?
Oh
no,
no.
Not back. Okay.
In Nighthawk's place, literally.
What do you think we're gonna see, David?
I actually can't think of anything right now because my mind. But
your brain is full of phlegm.
I really do hope that they show us female characters like.
Oh, that's a good point.
Binder over.
What?
Bender over. Bendoverar.
Binder over.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. What
does binder over mean?
Bender over. Okay. Cool.
Bender over. Okay.
I get it.
I see. Yeah. Nice.
I think I really hope that we see female characters. I know that that's something that a lot of people
still in 3.4
are waiting. I know it's still in 3.4, but I hope that they show us that it's coming. I know it's something that a lot of people really care about.
They've
only been working on it for 5 years.
Yeah.
I have a question for the two of you because you will be in attendance.
Yeah.
At points, you have to make a choice between which stage you're going to go and watch. Ignore my unnecessary hand movement. Do you have any idea which you're going to watch instead?
Yes.
So I think first of all, we're going to have to make sure we have at least one person in every presentation. I need to pull up the CitizenCon schedule.
I'm doing it right now. So actually, this is a good time to talk about CitizenCon itself really briefly because so many of us are going to be at CitizenCon. Hopefully, Shiver and some other people are going to be able to stream CitizenCon, so the people watching are going to be able to watch it. I never moved your name over. Watch it live, here where they can actually be heard and talk rather than on.
No way. That's not fair.
What?
Welcome to Loreville, the Art of Hurston, and By Design with Tony Zurevec are at the same time.
That is not even a question. That's not even
Gotta go see Tony Zurevec.
I know. It's so you have to go see Tony Zurovec. There's no person more interesting when it comes to Star Citizen than Tony Zurovec.
It's the most interesting man in the world.
The first, so the 3 to 4 block, I think I'm gonna have to say the crafting space, creating the visuals, just because it's an hour, whereas the help the creators create the CitizenCon trophy and a custom weapon is only a half hour. I'm more interested in the hour talk. Then we gotta watch Tony Zurovec.
What? Nobody needs to watch Tony Zurovec.
Yes, you do.
You get nothing out of it.
And then,
nothing at all.
And then, I also really like Sean Tracy.
Dude, he's always got great input.
So I think I'm going to be watching the one with Tracy and Herman and Ali Brown.
Called What a Bunch of Characters.
Yep. And then I don't really care about the VFX or the sound, so I'm going to end up at the Principles of Flight.
I might actually
the same time. Those bastards.
I might actually go and check out the VFX and the sound stuff because I'm not super into the flight model.
I'm not either. It's 3 things that I don't really care about.
I'm literally into all 3.
Well, as someone who went to film school and majored in sound, I'm definitely interested in the sound thing. But if I had
the sound of violence,
yeah, dude, I mean, if I spent 2 years in Hollywood doing sound design and sound engineering, so I'm all about that kind of stuff. But
I should have called it the sound of silence.
Between the two,
the noises,
I would actually prefer going after the flight model because I want to learn more about this new flight model.
Yeah, and then then the last one. I'm sorry, but Sean Tracy again.
Yeah,
exploring the advanced tech behind new it's going to be aside from Tony, I'm watching the main stage for everything. But, and here's one thing I am going to say. This is a big but. No comment.
And you cannot lie.
Do you like big butts?
Who doesn't? The week after CitizenCon, I'm going to start. I don't know who's going to join me. But I want to start on this not this show, but on this channel, watching one of these presentations a night in order and talking about it while we watch it. I want to go through every single one because even if I'm watching at the show, watching one side, there's stuff that I want to know happening on the other side, right? So watch what you want to live. And then you know what? Fuck it. Join us and watch the rest because we're going to do it. We're going to do
it. Excellent.
Nighthawk, you missed it, but and then of course we're all going to watch Road to Release, but you missed it. What do you think we can expect to see at CitizenCon? And then we're going to questions.
Besides the Hammerhead against Hammerhead combat.
I don't think it's going to be Hammerhead against Hammerhead. I think we're going to see something simple like that, right? Like Hammerhead versus an Idris, and we're going to think it's all normal. And then a bunch of tallies are going to show up on one side and a bunch of somethings, and there's going to be an actual space battle. And then the Banu are going to show up, and they're going to create a mini portable sun in the center, and everything is going to explode.
Well, you kind of hit on the one thing that I'm hoping to see that no one's really said much about yet, because they've already started work on the Banu Defender. I'm actually very curious to see what they've been working on for the development of the language and culture behind the Banu. You know, because when they started working on some of the other Xi'an ships, that's when they really hunkered down and started working on some of the culture and the history, the background, the language, and I'm wondering if we're going to get a drop of some of that for the Banu, because I think that would be pretty exciting.
Does anyone think we're going to have a Mark Hamill on stage giving a release date for Squadron 42?
No, he died in the last film.
Wrong franchise.
Or is it?
I'm going to actually say I'm gonna say yes. I'm going out on a limb, and I think that's going to happen. I think it may be another star, but I think it's going to be yeah. I'm going to say at least one of the stars from Squadron is going to be there to talk about the game.
I'm really hoping that they do something like that. I thoroughly enjoyed it when they did that. Last year, the year before, I think it was last year, and they had the call-in video with John Rhys Davies.
Yeah, that was freaking
that
cool.
was phenomenal. He wasn't even there live, but it was so much fun to have name actors there going, I'm in your game. I loved it. I can't wait to see more of it.
Yeah.
I'm one of you. And you know, to go off of what Shiver was earlier, I do think it's possible that Mark Hamill dying in that last movie was not actually him dying, because he didn't die. He vanished. And that's just him transitioning from that universe to this one.
It's funny. I'm not
That's amazing.
I'm not the biggest Star Wars nerd out there, but I was reading my daughter a Golden Books Star Wars book, like little golden book. It's like a little kid's version of Star Wars. And I was rereading it, and they were remember when Ben Kenobi gets cut down and he disappears? And I was like, oh, right. That's what happened with Luke.
Yeah.
Disappear. I get it now.
Yeah, he moved into the Star Citizen universe.
Yeah, I get it now. Anyway, let's move on to questions.
Somewhere out there, Alec Guinness is piloting a hammerhead. Sorry, Sir Alec.
There.
I'm okay with that.
Fast Cart.
I really am.
Don't judge me, okay? So, Plank asks, I'm curious what you think of the new Cyberpunk 2077 demo in relation to how Star Citizen's demos look. Are you impressed or kind of cynical like me? It looks good, but I can't help but feel Cyberpunk is 2 years away. I'm glad you asked that. I think that the Cyberpunk demo looks decent, but I think that it's also being incredibly overrated and looked at by people that think it's a lot more important and a lot better than it is. As a gameplay demo itself, it shows almost nothing. We really have no idea what the actual game is going to be like.
What did you watch? I couldn't hold myself back anymore. There's like all of the missions, all of the gunplay, all of the like installing stuff in your face.
The mission there was one dialogue choice to choose literally the entire way through. What the hell was with that taxi cab ride that dropped you off exactly where you need to go? And it wasn't a taxi cab, it was some random guy. Why did you get in that guy's car? It's all a bunch of really dumb bull. I did not enjoy that demo. I thought the voice actress for it sucked. I really, really hope that they pull it off and that it's good. But it looks to me like Cyberpunk has been wasting the last 7 years of their lives. No, it's not that bad. But I don't
think that looks like a bad game.
No,
That's
don't.
Amazing.
Nikara, I don't think it looks like a bad game. I do think that people are quite frankly jacking themselves off about it a little too much. It doesn't look.
Oh, what? We're sat here talking about Star Citizen.
Shiver,
we're not doing that.
Shiver, we call Star Citizen out all the time.
Yeah, but come on.
No, there is no fun. Shiver, that's the problem. No, Shiver, that's the problem. We call Star Citizen out all the time. And I try to call Cyberpunk out for stuff that I've called Star Citizen out about. And people jump down my fucking throat saying that Cyberpunk is the best goddamn game ever made. And what the hell is wrong with me?
But in fairness, we didn't have to pay $20 to watch that gameplay stream of Cyberpunk.
That is fair. That is fair.
Okay, no, I want to be clear here. I want to be very clear. I am not trying to say that the things that you bring up are unreasonable. I think you just go way overboard in trying to prove your point.
I do, trying to get someone to listen to me because
I know,
everyone's
but
all
then
like,
it makes
it's the greatest. It looks so good.
But then it makes people defensive because you go way overboard, so they feel they have to defend it because you're like it's total shit.
It looked like no. I see. I didn't actually say it looked like shit. I said I'm really excited for it. I really hope it turns out well, but I don't feel like that gameplay demo actually showed off all that much that makes it look different from something like Deus Ex. It looks like a more graphically well done Deus Ex in first person. That's
and a bit more concentration on gameplay than Deus Ex.
Yes, but
can someone enlighten me, because I've never actually played Deus Ex? Is it open world though?
No, it's not. But we also didn't really see.
Sort of is. It's not. You don't go level to level, do you? You can go around the city. And you can pick.
But
there is a right way to go.
There is. But one of the things that we weren't really showed in that gameplay demo was any open worldness. It was, here's the area, then here's the area.
Okay, but you were not. You
to another area.
Have not once mentioned what CD Projekt Red actually said about that demo. Did you read the letter that they sent with it?
I don't know. I don't remember. It was a long time
ago. Well, they said that they almost didn't show it. Because it's incredibly early. And they also mentioned recently that they just got the game to the point where they could finish the game.
And I have
it's not close.
That's actually a really, really good point. Sorry, Nighthawk. This is where.
No, it's okay. I don't have much to say about it. I like the gameplay demo. I'm eager to see what they come up with, but it's a game in development, so I'm going to wait to see what it looks like closer to release.
And that's my exact point. I don't believe that a game this early in development, early enough to the point that they were like, we shouldn't even really shown this maybe. I don't believe that it should be getting the accolades that it does, because everything could change.
Yeah.
It is too early to be getting E3 Game of Shows. It is too early for everyone to be super. We don't know.
Those are subjective awards, though.
I'd like to point out,
and the ones that you wanted to get awards were all ones that just showed a bunch of video, and then it's just video. Anything can change in any game at any point in time.
We didn't even see the video.
Well, no, that's a good point. Well, most of those awards were from private showings.
From what people were writing about what was shown at E3, I thought it was actually a completely different gameplay demo that we were shown than the one that was shown at E3.
I don't think it was. I think it was the same one.
It sounded like a different one to me from reading it, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm cutting us off there. That's enough about Cyberpunk. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to mention, before I know you're trying to cut us off, I just want to say, for those who think that,
not me, I'm the
okay, fine. To try and set expectations, absolutely. Like, I don't think Cyberpunk is close. I think it's 2020 maybe.
Well, and that's one of the things that I like most about the demo was the fact that on no less than 2 occasions, the narrator. This is a demonstration of a game that's currently in development. It is going to change. The tech behind it is going to change, and temper your expectations.
You could tell when she was in the shopping interface that the interface was faked. It wasn't actually they like dummied it up for the demo like they do for a lot of gameplay demos, but you could tell if you looked.
I'd also like to remind everyone what CD Projekt Red did for, I think it was Witcher 2. They released a demo of Witcher 2. It looked phenomenal. And then they paired... Three, I guess. I don't even know. They pared down the graphic capabilities significantly to run it on console. And that, to me, is akin to lying. I do not believe that any company should do that, period. And I will call it out every single time it happens.
I think it's okay for a company to do that as long as, I don't know, just say PC Master Race can actually run it at that, which it can.
It can, but it couldn't because they pared it down for everything.
Yeah. I mean, they literally stopped you from being able to tweak those sort of settings, but with mods that are out there, you can get near and things like that. And the PC is capable of doing that.
The big thing that they changed between those two was that actually mattered to gameplay and the world was that the crowd density in the demo for Witcher 3 was a lot higher than what it was in the game when it actually came out.
And it is fun that everyone's like, "Oh my god, look at that crowd in Cyberpunk."
Well, they did actually specifically say that was one of the big improvements they had made. Now, whether or not that holds through to the game, I hope so. Yeah, I agree. Regardless, we need more questions.
Yeah, no, we don't. We don't need more questions. We need to get to more questions. We've got.
No, that's what I mean. Sorry, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
we need to go through more questions, and I need to shut up more.
Knoxville asks, any thoughts on the CitizenCon schedule? Night Hockey weren't here. What are your thoughts on the 2 different stages?
I'm sorry, 2 different stages of what?
2 different stages at CitizenCon.
And what would you like to see from them?
Got it. Well, I mean, kind of discussed it a little bit. Let me pull this schedule back up here again. So I'm just going to go through the list really quick. I'm interested in the keynote and closing with Chris. I'm not at all interested in the trophy stuff. And I'm not really all that interested in crafting space either. I can kind of afford to skip both of those. Interested in are the talks about the flight model, the sound effects, what Sean Tracy has to say about the tech and pushing forward beyond where we are now and what we know of the project so far, and the closing statement. That's
what about the Tony Zervex panel?
By design?
Yeah.
That's, if you notice on the schedule, the only one with absolutely no description whatsoever. I don't really know what to make of it. You know?
It's gonna be basically Tony talking about game design for like an hour straight.
Yeah, but if he's just talking
no
about
one will
game
ever
design,
transcribe that, by the way.
Like, what is the context of that? Well, there are too many yeahs to filter out to begin with.
He also is literally the fastest speaker known to man. And he crams more meaning into every 1 second of speaking than anyone else in the world.
I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting because he's always got a lot of really good points to make. But without understanding the context to which he's speaking to, I can't really get very excited for it. You know?
Well, I'll be there and I'll send you a message if it's amazing.
Okay, yes, please do that because that's one of the ones I'm looking forward to watching on the YouTubes.
Mm-hmm. Sorry about that. Okay. No.
Oh, by the way, sorry for running off earlier.
It's all good.
This last week, I took over the family business, and as a new business manager, I've got like probably 1 or 2 more calls coming in. Yeah, I'm busy.
Yeah, that's good. By the way, congratulations on that. You were
Thank
telling
you very
me about
much.
that, and that is great to hear.
That's awesome.
I'm really glad.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely relieved a lot of stress.
Nice.
Sorry, I'm being attacked. What's that?
It's okay. Oh, that's adorable. All right, I'm gonna go grab the questions.
You go run. Sorry, she wants me to turn Kirby on for her, and I'm sort of occupied. Paul Shelley Jr. says, I'm telling my mom, Mom, Daddy's being a butthead. Fastcart asks, who's going to the Tuesday Bar Citizen before CitizenCon, and how crowded do you think it'll be? I really don't know what's happening at CitizenCon yet. I did buy a ticket for the Tuesday Bar Citizen, but unfortunately, my best friend who's actually joining us down there, Commander Llama, was not able to get a ticket. So
we'll have to figure it out.
We'll figure something out. I would
at least they're opening it up to everybody at 9:30.
Yeah.
So I mean,
but
he'll be able to join us at that point.
He could, but I might join at that point. I don't want to leave him alone with nothing to do in Texas because, you know,
you could leave him with the Dez and his firearm.
His tour guide group. Because if you're going to CitizenCon this year, chances are you're staying at Desmaris' place and he's going to be your your cook, as well as your tour guide.
It's true.
Make sure he takes you to a little shack just outside the Grange.
Rudy asks, hi, Big fan. No questions. Just wanted to tell Shiver I'm super excited for November. That was Rudy.
Thanks, Rudy.
Oh boy.
I get married in November.
I'll show you later, Mac.
Congratulations.
Good luck with
Go get Mom. I'm sorry.
Adlad TV asks, "Hello, how are you?"
P good. Thanks. Yep.
All
Not
right.
bad. Not bad. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Noxel asks, has funding for Star Citizen slowed, or is it roughly on par with previous years? Nakara?
You're gonna have to give me 8 to 10 seconds to find that.
Okay, I'll
information.
do another question while we wait for that. One Finger Point Man asks, which 5-letter word would you describe your CitizenCon expectations best?
Does it have to be 5 letters? Can it be shorter?
It has to be 5 letters.
letters.
We're gonna be strict here.
Shiver, you first.
Horny.
Nighthawk?
Stoic.
That's a good word. Nakara?
Great. What about you there, Mr. Erris?
Spoon.
Who are you gonna spoon with?
No, just spoon. That was the first 5-letter word I thought of, and I had to count
I just had
a
an
number of
image
times.
of Erris's face coming out of the Tick's costume.
Drax asks,
Okay.
why
I know, I can answer- I can
it's
answer
you.
that.
Go.
Okay, at the end of the first quarter this year, they were $900,000 ahead of last year. At the end of the second quarter, ahead of last year.
Repeat that one. Sorry, it cut out for a second.
Sorry, at the end of the second quarter, we were $500,000 ahead of the year before. And we're currently 1.5. Sorry, no, that's wrong. $1.7 million short of Q3 last year, but there's still another 22 days left
Before Q3 ends. Yeah.
So honestly, we're
There's still
pretty much
CitizenCon.
right on. Yeah, well, I mean, there's not CitizenCon in Q3.
Right.
It's in Q4. So currently, we're basically right on track with how they did last year, which was $34.9 million. They're right in their wheelhouse for how they've been fundraising for the last 3-4 years.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a couple rapid fire and then get to a real one. So Drax says, why is Gamora? Because. Commander Llama says, when good game? Tuesday. Commander Llama also
Why
says,
good game?
Also, I like your shirt, Shiver. Sorry, I forgot my Twitch password. And then Agent 121370 asks, what new ships will be announced at CitizenCon?
Besides the Kraken?
What the hell is the Kraken? My brain is failing me here. People have been
Not
mentioning
much.
it.
What's cracking with you?
Oh,
Supposedly, I think the Kraken is supposed to be a sort of like scout carrier. You know, something sort of akin to the Idris, but not quite so militarized. I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see for sure.
I just pulled it up here on the Star Citizen Wikipedia. Or actually, I should say, this is on Star Citizen Tools. It says the Drake Kraken is a capital ship that has space on board to park and store a few medium ships up to freelancer size and transport them around the verse. It serves as a mobile truck stop in function with a small hub of stores, some less than legitimate.
So they're making a fucking pocket carrier.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's going to make them about $14 million.
$40 million. Yeah.
Out of interest, I know that there's a huge portion of people that really like carriers. I like large ships in general, but I've always been drawn more to battleships for their firepower rather than the aircraft carrier, which I know is far more useful and in theory is even more firepower. But there's just something about a ship that is has got its own big, massive weapons as opposed to relying on smaller craft. I'm just wondering, what is the general consensus here? Do people go for battleships, or would they prefer a carrier?
I'd prefer a ship that I can fly and use myself without requiring 40 other people to join me.
That wasn't the question, David.
It's answer.
I personally prefer battleships, but that's just me.
I honestly kind of don't really sway in either direction. If it's going to allow me to have a fun gaming experience with a bunch of my friends, that's really all that matters.
Mature answer.
What? Your
I think you turned off your
audio's
mic.
gone, man. You turned off your mic. Yeah, you did.
You sound like you're talking through a tin can and string.
Your mic is not working. Nope. Okay, sounds good. I will ask questions. Right. Once I actually get to the dock. So, you guys dance for me for a few minutes?
No.
Agent 121370 asks, when will NPCs be added into the PU and at what level will they interact?
They're already in the PU. Well, are they still, or did they take them all out again?
No. Last time I dropped into the game, everybody was standing on chairs.
Standing was what?
Standing on chairs.
Oh, nice. But there are still NPCs, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not
But,
many.
I think
but...
what Agent's asking is, when will we have some more subsumption in there and things? 'Cause I think 3.3's got the bartender subroutine in it, which is going to be like their first experimental one. Not final, not full, but a first implementation of a character that's got AI, that's got the subsumption routines in it for you to interact with. I think is in 3.3.
I like the next one.
So Space Age Hero asks, can I be a guest? I have thoughts.
Well, since I'm taking over for Erris, I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, I mean, we love guests. Yes.
Easiest and best way to get in contact is, I would say Erris, but his mic's shit. But just send him a PM on Discord and say, can I help out and be on the podcast or something? And he'll say, yeah, sure. Very sorry.
And if you don't have access to them on the Discord, you can always try via Twitter.
True.
Also, I mean, if you're just looking for a Discord link, it's at the bottom of your current window in Twitch. Or it's below our video. There's a link to Discord.
Our beloved Bryce Sharana asks, anyone playing Marvel Spider-Man, and if so, thoughts?
No.
I actually just started it last night. I've only gotten through the first mission of the game, but so far I'm actually really liking it. The swinging physics that everybody was all hyped about, they're good. I enjoy them. They've a lot more dynamic, and it's just fun. I don't know what else to say about the swinging. Combat is still very much in the style of Arkham Asylum, so it's easy to get into, and it takes a modicum of practice to master. But there are different combos and there's different abilities, and as you level up your character, there's a whole ton of customization for what you have in your head as Spider-Man.
Hello.
You still sound like you're talking through a tin can.
No, do I still?
Do you have to, is this an on? I thought this was an online-only game because it might be web-based.
Oh, oh no!
Actually, I mean, it is locked into the PlayStation 4, and I'm hoping that they release it to the PC at some point, because it looks really nice on the PlayStation, but I'd like to see it on the PC. The customization, like I was saying, is really interesting, because as you level up, you get skill points, and you can purchase different skill points from 3 different skill trees. And then on top of that, you get gadgets, and you can swap out your gadgets. And on top of that, you get different suits as you level up. And most of the suits come with a special power, but you don't have to stick with that power. You can switch between different suit powers. So there's a lot of customization to the game that I wasn't expecting. So for the first hour and a half of the game, I'm fairly well impressed.
Nice. Thank you for your impromptu review. That's awesome. Ooh, good.
Space Age Hero asks, how can the lore team craft meaningful missions and a sense of...
Yes,
Yes.
we can.
Yes, somewhat better.
This is the best episode of Realization ever. I love it. All right, so a question is, how can the lore team craft meaning... What? What? Really?
Erris's mics are taking the day off.
Erris, can you just communicate through the medium of dance from now
That's
on?
amazing. Oh boy.
We're going to need you to craft a campfire and form all of your answers with smokes.
That's right.
Right there on your desktop.
All right, so the question is, how can the lore team craft meaningful missions and a sense of importance, uniqueness, and connection to each system?
Okay.
Basically, I hope for full inclusion into the universe.
And now I can't.
Just put the headset on. Just put it on. Just put it on.
Oh
No,
boy.
the audio is still coming out of these. It's just the mic that's gone to this, because this
That's
mic
hilarious.
no longer exists.
Okay.
Excellent.
Tell
And
your
that's an
computer to
XLR
stop
mic,
drinking
right?
your beer.
Sorry about that, everyone. I'm gonna just talk to you through the Vive. Where are we?
It would be great if you could just put that on and put the visor on and just do the rest.
Yep. The whole rest of the show in the visor.
Oh, perfect. So where are we? How can lore team craft meaningful missions and a sense of importance, uniqueness, and connection to each system? Basically, I hope for full inclusion into the universe. Basically, how do you try and make every system feel like it is unique and important, and how do you do that how do the game designers do that through crafting missions?
And my best suggestion for that is probably listen to Tony Zurvek's By Design talk at CitizenCon, because that is very likely what he's going to be, or something that he'll touch. I mean, he's probably going to talk about everything, but yeah.
I was just going to say a lot of trial and error.
Yeah.
Don't actually know where the mic on this thing is. I'm going to think
they're right about there.
That sounds a lot better.
That's a bloody good question.
That was a really good.
Your broken mic asks, is that the Vive or the Vive Pro?
It's the Vive. I do not have the money for a Vive Pro. Period. That said, the Vive is fantastic, but don't spend like $600 on it. VR is fun, but
I hear the mic's all right.
I've actually seen a lot of like people that use the Vive frequently and professionally in their Twitch streams and such. I know Clifford, aka Miku, has a mod mic on his, which is actually a really good idea. Nakara's got one on his headphones. But yeah, attaching a mod mic to this would make a lot more sense. But So really sorry about that technical
glitch. It just decided that my mic doesn't exist. I don't know why, and I had to switch everything to this because this at least still exists according to my computer.
I really hope your mic didn't die.
No, it's not that the mic, like it still shows up on my equipment.
Oh, okay.
But the equipment, because I'm running it through a preamp and then a Scarlett 18i like processory thing. I'm running it through a bunch of things. They still accept it. But...
Still better than the CIG live stream, and you didn't have to pay 20 quid for the privilege.
Dear Lord, I'm going to say right now though, I want everyone out there to thank Shiver and I a hell of a lot for the RTV notes that are going to go up on Relay later, because the audio this week on RTV was so bad.
It didn't help the fact that they were talking about such abstract things as well, and you're trying to listen to this technical explanation of OCS network binecoding. You're trying to right, have I got the right idea of this? I need to re-listen to that.
It also didn't help that they were all British and you couldn't understand a word they were saying because they don't speak English. They speak British.
They're Northern. That's not
I kind of felt like I was watching one of those old Wingman's Hangar conference episodes, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. So, we out of question? We're out of questions.
We're out of questions.
Already?
We need questions.
You know what's actually really, really great about that? Because I said I was going to have a nap when we ran out of questions instead of singing, and I've got the perfect eye cover.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sleep mask. Nice.
You don't want to know what I'm watching in here.
You're not
so is this what we do for the next 10 minutes? We just stare at you.
You're not supposed to watch porn on Twitch. Not good.
Okay, so before we go out, let's see. One, I don't know who Astro has on today, but everyone should go watch the Astropub 2 hours from now over on twitch.tv/theastropub.
I think it's HC Vertigo, Mitachi.
Yes, Mitachi.
And
Maya.
One other person. Hold on, I can get that in. Meyer, that's right. Yes, thank you.
So go check that out, because that's always fun as shit. And I honestly wish I could be on every week, but life. Second, man, we've got a lot of time left.
Well, it's all right. We just had 2 questions, one of which is probably going to spark a bit of a conversation. 3 questions.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Tutti Fruity on the Rooty asks, what ship are you most excited about in 3.3?
Wait, no. We need to touch on Tutti Fruity on the Rudy for a moment here.
Or what? Babaluba, Balop, Bam Boom.
Okay.
Now
go ahead.
I don't even know, honestly.
3.3. The one I'm most excited for is probably the Hammerhead, just because it's the first capital ship in the actual persistent universe. That thing's freaking huge.
I've never liked it.
I love it. It's all guns. It's amazing.
But it doesn't look good.
So many.
You'll be inside of it, so who cares?
You are like my daughter Mac, who is 6 years old and looks at a Pokemon card and is like, "This is the best Pokemon card," and all there is like shinies and stuff all over the place. And I'm like, "Why?" And she's like, "Because it does a lot of damage." Can I just point out
that you are this young child's father? That you are looking at the same Pokemon cards and saying, "Actually, no, this is the best one."
Yeah,
because your age.
Because it's a Litten and it's cute.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna actually say my official answer is the Cyclone, because it's cool.
Fine, I accept that answer.
I've got 2.
Go.
Fire.
I've got the Phoenix on my list because I've been waiting to see the Phoenix in engine and whether or not there's any worthwhile functionality to it in terms of gameplay. Because if I don't like what I see,
got lots of weapons.
Well, if I don't see what I like with the Phoenix, it's turning into a Crucible, and I've been holding on to that CCU for a couple of years now. And then I'm also really looking forward to the Mustang. I'm excited to see the rework of it, and it's always ships, and to finally have a rework that lets you stand up properly and not sort of blink through the walls when you're trying to fly. That's going to be really nice.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that.
It's a cool, fun little ship, and it'd be nice to see it in the game again.
Yeah.
I'll take the next question.
Okay.
Is the speed of development a concern for you? Was asked by a ham sandwich. What do you think, Nighthawk?
I mean, I've been around since 2012, and I definitely think the pace has picked up since then. But it's kind of not that much of a concern to me. I went into this investing in what I knew would be the development of a business, a company, as well as its products. And so I knew that the whole thing was going to take time. And I don't really have all that much of an issue with waiting.
Mr. Shiver.
Exactly the same. I bought into this after reading that this is going to take time. I knew this was going to take time. I'm good. Sat here because we'll never experience this again. We will never have this point again. Once this is gone, that's it. I'm enjoying it.
Mr. David.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think I was having a rant about this last night over on the Bases Friday night show. We have a significant problem nowadays with two things. One is games being released into early access way the hell before they're ready to be there, and then never actually becoming the game that they should have been. If you look at PUBG, it is shit. It is developed like shit and treated like shit. You land anywhere and you look up at a building and you can see through it. Like it's shit. It's literal shit. But then you've got other things like the problem is that games are taking a frick ton longer to make now.
Yeah.
And especially making a new IP, even something like Assassin's Creed. Nightfly, yes, I am talking to a Vive. I've had some mic problems.
I love that there are people coming in and just
I am talking into a Vive, yes. No, but seriously, you've got it takes a long time to make a game now. It's taken 7 years to make Cyberpunk. And it's not going to be ready for another 2. It's taken 7 years to make Star Citizen. It's not going to be ready for another 1 to 2. It's taken 7 years to make Mountain Blade Bannerlord, and it's going to take another who knows. Games take more time. We're asking for higher detailed textures. We're asking for professional voice acting. Ever since friggin' L.A. Noire, we expect fully motion captured and performed everything.
That was the first big game with
it was the first big game that did, and it didn't even
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat can suck a cucumber.
That was fucking massive when that came out.
But games are getting bigger.
Yeah, but there's a huge difference between something like Star Citizen and a 2D beat 'em up.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention that I think one of the things that's really pushing out the timescales on these games is the sheer size, and I think it's amazing because it makes the games much better. But it's the sheer size of the worlds, and that is what's hamstringing Star Citizen to a degree. They are developing. See, the pace of development is not my problem, or not a problem that I have, because I think they're actually working at an incredible pace. It's the amount of work they have to do.
That's the problem.
Much greater than previously. And that is why you've seen the return of like these pixel art games, things like Minecraft, things like Terraria,
Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley, because they are still easy to make. You can make a game like that quite easily. Game like Banished, which I love on Steam. It's made by one guy. It didn't take him particularly long to make it, but it's not super complex or anything.
But you actually start to see now a sort of pushback against things like Battlefield 5, which pumps out a new game every year, so there's no bloody point to it. Or Call of Duty, which pumps out a new game every year, and there's no bloody point to it. And even a new
Call of Duty or Battlefield game should come out every 5 years.
Even they are on a multi-year schedule because they've got multiple developers trading off, right?
Well, they only did that because people just totally rebelled because the games that they were putting out with only 1 year of development were total shit.
But they are still doing that. Ubisoft is actually one of the few major developers that I actually am a fan of, in that they realized that Assassin's Creed sucked. They took the extra time to make Origins good. But that's something that needs to happen nowadays. It needs to be people accepting that games take longer to make. And it's not just companies accepting that games take longer to make. It's us as well.
And I think that's part of what feeds into people having such a hard time coping with the pace at which Star Citizen is developing, because we've had so many video games over the last 2-3 decades where they just come out. They're just there for us to play. There's no concept in our minds, an educated concept in our minds of what it takes to make these games. And this is the first time that somebody is almost on a daily basis saying, so this is what we did today. And we're getting to see every single one of the trials and tribulations, the good decisions, the bad decisions, the mistakes, the triumphant victories.
Like every project.
One of the that's I wanted to point that out.
The first time we're seeing it bare bones.
Because I've seen developers talk about this before, and I've even seen some detailed examples before. The trials and tribulations that the Star Citizen community has and the problems that they have with things that CIG does happen with every game company. It happens all the time. It's just you never see it. A famous example, I read a huge interview about the early phases of development for Dragon Age Inquisition, which I actually quite liked. But you read, they were talking about the early alpha phases for that game, and that's actually fair ways along in development. They're in alpha. And it was this tactical war game where you had more like an RTS camera, and you had you could destroy structures and stuff in the game, and it was it was very tactics based, and that is not at all the game that came out. Yep. Not even close. So I thought that was really interesting. Another very famous example is Warcraft 3. Which they were planning to basically make into an RPG, and then they basically completely reversed course and made an RTS instead. For
the Mac.
Yeah, that's a good point. Astropub talking about first Halo game.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. Really good
Sorry,
point.
Astro.
I mean, it exists throughout gaming, but we normally don't find out about it until after the fact, when someone writes a book about the development of this game. And even then, you only find out about it if you're a super fan and want to read that book. Most people don't care. And there's one studio that exemplifies this, and that is Bethesda. How long they've got a 4-month turnaround between game announcement and game release, and that's what they've been doing. They're like, hey, Fallout 76 is a thing. It's coming out in 4 months.
November.
No other company does that, and they have gone.
So we're 4 months away from Elder Scrolls 6.
No,
I actually thought they kind of shot themselves in the foot with Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 there.
we won't hear any more of that until they're 4 months out from release. But there's such a difference between those two paradigms, right? You've got Bethesda that's completely silent until here's the game. It's coming out. You can play it in less than a half year. And CIG, that are like, okay, there's this game. It's coming out sometime in the next 12 decades. But here is every single thing that happens to this is the lunch list that all of our devs had over the past. Like, it's, I don't know if CIG made the right decision on how much info they give.
I'm really glad somebody's trying it.
Yeah.
Somebody has to.
I think it's actually made a lot of developers be more open, to be honest. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Even if they're not open to the same level that CIG are, I really like the Mountain Blade Warband, or Bannerlord, sorry, Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. Every week they have a dev diary, and they talk a little bit about the development of the game. And it's not much. It's not a game demo. It's not, but it's
actually, you know who I thought really took notes from Star Citizen was Paradox when they were making Stellaris. Yeah. For months and months and months and months and months before the game came out. Every week they had a live stream on Twitch where they just played the game for like an hour or two.
Yeah.
You're seeing a lot
and
more
they're like,
Frontier as well.
And they're like, this build is 2 hours old. Here we go.
Yep.
You know?
And it's honestly not the first time that we've seen this in an entertainment medium. I mean, this is comparable to what happened with film. You know, for years, we would just get films and you'd go to the theater and you'd watch it and you'd wait for the next one to come out. And people had, unless they went and studied film, had no inkling of what actually goes into the production of a film project. And once they started doing these behind the scene exposés and they started having deleted scenes added to discs and all this other stuff, then people really started to get an idea of what really is involved and why it takes sometimes 2, 3, 4 years for one movie to be made. Yep. And we're just starting to see that now with video games. But we've been through it before, we'll be through it again.
And part of the problem is, a decade ago you could make a game in a year. I mean, the difference between Call of Duty 1 and Call of Duty 2 is not significant. The gameplay didn't change. They upgraded the graphics, but it was still a new game, and it was still, I don't even think it was the next year. It still took multiple years. Whereas now you've got AAA franchises that are, even if they're released every year, they take 3 to 4 years to make, and they're still shit. 3 to 4 years isn't enough time to make a good AAA game. You can make something smaller in that much time. I'm one of my favorite games right now is Dead Cells, but it's a smaller game, and the complexity of games is just it's getting too much for us to comprehend and accept. And we humans don't deal with the future. We scientifically do not deal with long-term future planning. We can't accept thinking about something 10 years out. We are bad at that. We live in the past and in the moment, and that is literally humanity. And games are no longer made in the moment. They are made 5, 7, 10 years out. Games aren't made for us anymore during creation. We need to accept that they take as long as they take and then enjoy them when they come out. Anything else, any kind of we want it now or why is this taking so long, is literally your I want to say like your inbred instincts taking over any sort of logical processes and just saying, no, I want it now. It's like when you're cooking a burger and you're like, is it done yet? Is it done? I want to eat it now. I don't want to wait 3 seconds. I want it fucking now. And then you open it up and you take a bite and it's raw inside because you didn't let it cook. So,
yeah.
We are humans. We suck.
I just want to touch on something quickly here. Carlos, Carlos R72 said Blizzard said in one of its investor conference calls that a game that would replace World of Warcraft would cost $500 million, and that was after the second expansion pack for WoW. So we're now on what, like the 6th expansion, something like that. I just wanted to touch on this and add some more context. Years ago, EA did a feasibility study, and this was also unveiled during a investor conference call. They did a feasibility study on ousting World of Warcraft from the MMO crown when it was at its height. So when it was like at 12 million active players. And they estimated, because they would have to also oust Blizzard, they estimated that it would cost $4 billion.
And it's probably why Blizzard hasn't made an actual MMO to surpass WoW, because it's easier just to release an expansion pack. Anyway,
I actually think they're probably working on one, but
it's probably still 7 to 10 years away.
Probably.
Here's the thing.
Right,
here's the thing. A ham sandwich, the next time you have such an in-depth question to ask, can you please ask it not 4 minutes before we end the podcast? At the same time, I love you for the question. I love you all for watching. I love each of you guys for being on the cast. Thank you all so much. Please remember to, you know what? Don't like, subscribe, whatever. I don't give a shit. All I care that you do is you go watch the Astropub 2 hours from now.
Disappear.
We don't deserve them. Let's be honest. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you through a Vive headset, okay? We don't deserve your subscriptions. We are not professionals.
I think that's pretty professional. I don't know.
Go watch the Astropod.
I would watch Alex Jones if he was screaming into a Vive headset.
It'd certainly make him more
Well, you can't anymore.
No. Good night, everyone. We'll see you in the verse.
Take care, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.